Software development. I had this little idea. I was fed up with being timed out of software applications. You know, you probably use PayPal, eBay, online banking's the worst one at the moment. You get this message, your session is timed out, please log in again. So I thought there's a simple solution for that. All I need is something just like to come in and refresh the screen every couple of minutes, and that would stop me being timed out of this application. So that's what I did. I went to Elance and I just wrote a little couple of paragraphs, said I want a bit of software that works with Internet Explorer and it refreshes the screen every X minutes, where X is a little drop down that appears in your Internet Explorer window. So I got this bit of software written. It cost me $600, £300 by some nice Russian chap, and 300 quid got me a little bit of software written. So I then thought for hours and hours about what to call it, and I came up with the imaginative title, Stay Logged In. Put up a simple web page and thought, well, if I've got this problem, other people will have. Put up this web page, started selling the software, £10 a copy, sold loads of it. So a little idea turned into, and there you go, 300 quid for the software, has grossed me over 20,000 quid. My time marketing cost, I looked yesterday for that product, has been about £1,200. So my total outgoing for that has been like 1,500, 1,600 quid, and it's made me 20,000 quid, and that's one little bit of software. I'm not going to tell you about some of the other ones. Now, this is used all around the world. Factories in the UK use it for just keeping logged into their factory control systems. There's 911 centres in the States that use it to keep logged into their equivalent of the DVLA driver license system. There's banks in Japan that use it for their trading screens. So yeah, a little bit of software that some little chap in Kent came up with that's used all around the world, and there's lots and lots of customers. So here's some tips for software development. First one is unfortunate, but you do need a good idea, and that, you know, admittedly was quite a good idea, but you've probably all seen little things that, well, wouldn't it be good if you could get something to do that automatically? So you write a brief for the software, you put it on Elance or Rent-A-Coder, do write some tutorial screens. Some people are stupid. I know it's hard to believe, but you know, they can't just click on something that says set up and it pops up and says, do you want to install? And they would phone up and say, when it says, do you want to install, do I say yes or no? Well, I'd go with yes if I were you. So write some tutorial screens. Do make it a recurring income. This bit of software works for a year and it turns itself off. And if you want to join to have it for another year, you have to pay me another £10 license fee. It's just a bit of software that's licensed. And I know people like Armand do similar things with software that rather than just selling you a bit of software once, you're licensing it and you pay a recurring fee. Allow for support. You need someone to answer the phone to those people that can't get it working. But here's a tip that I did for that, which isn't on the slide. Bonus tip is make it work free for a trial period. So the software, you can download it for free. It works for 10 days and then it turns itself off. So that way you sort of filter out all the people that have just like got a corrupt Windows installation and whatever they installed wouldn't work. You let them try it for 10 days. If it works for 10 days, then it's going to work going into the future. So there's not going to be any support queries. Another tip is ask for feedback. I did this thing, and when it first launched, it was the drop down went from 1 minute to 15 minutes, and that's how often it refreshed the screen. I set up an autoresponder message like we saw earlier, that after 2 weeks, it sent up an email message that said, is there anything we could improve about this bit of software? And they, a lot of people came back and said, yeah, well, I'm a trader. It'd be really useful if you could make it refresh the screen every second, not every 1 minute, because I want to watch share prices. And some people who are using it for eBay as well, they wanted to watch the prices change like in real time at the dying death of an eBay auction. So I went back to my Russian program and said, how much would it be to change this? So instead of that drop down going from 1 minute to 15, it goes down to 1 second. And it cost me $30 to get that little change made, so 15 quid. And I already had a queue of people that wanted that enhancement. So just asking for feedback, and it opened up whole new markets.